I developed a timer which can be turned off hands-free. The goal of my project was or the target audience for my project was for people who were cooking in the kitchen, who maybe like after they set a time and they started cooking other things in the kitchen and they couldn't turn off the timer manually, they could just wave their hand and turn off the timer. Or possibly even people that wanted to sleep longer in the morning. They wouldn't have to search for the button to turn off the timer, they could just wave their hand. So to use the timer, you have to first enter setup mode. To enter setup mode, you hold this button and the LED will turn green when setup mode has been entered. And then when you're in setup mode, you can set how many seconds you would like the timer to tick down from. So in my case, I'm going to start with 10 seconds, so it's just 1, 0, and I'll click the button to start the countdown. So when I start the countdown, a blue LED will come on, and that blue LED will dim proportional to how much time is left on the countdown. And when the countdown ends, the LED will turn red and the buzzer will go on. And then I'll show you the functionality of the waving, because once you wave your hand over this, the timer will turn off. So I'll start the timer now. So there's the blue LED. It's hard to see through video, but it's dimming slowly. And now that the timer's finished, you could just wave your hand and the timer will turn off. And then you could start the timer again at any time by entering setup mode again, so holding this for 3 seconds. And now let's say I want to do 5 seconds. So I press 5 and then I start the timer with the button. And there's the blue light again, indicating that the timer's on. And now my timer's done, and I can turn it off, waving the hand. So I can also turn off the timer manually by pressing the button. I'll show that real quick once I enter setup mode. So if I do, let's say 3 seconds, and I start the timer, I could turn it off also by just pressing the button. So that way you have kind of 2 forms of turning off the timer, hands-free waving, as well as a manual button pushing. So my 2 forms of input are digital in the form of this membrane switch, this keypad, as well as analog in the form of a button. And then my outputs would be the buzzer, the LED. Oh, also in terms of analog.